Okay.
All right.
Okie dokie. And we should be good to go.
Yep, already starting recorded.
Perfection. Okay. So, last time, and by last time I mean the first time, you were all accompanying a delegation from Baldur's Gate to the holy city of Elturel, in an attempt to suss out and discuss some cult activity that had been brewing in both of the cities. Well out on a job to clear out a cultist outpost that had been spotted in the area. You fought some fiendish fellows, and on your return you witnessed the holy city getting pulled down into the earth by infernal chains, while black bolts of lightning snake their way into the city from its supposed protector, an artificial sun known as the Companion. Seeing this, you decided, okay, let's go back to Baldur's Gate, because fuck that. After rounding up some survivors, you hurried back home, where you found a marked increase in cult activity seemingly overnight, and apparently related to Elturel's disappearance. Using your connections and skills, you began uncovering a sinister plot to bring the same fate to the much, 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 much less holy city of Baldur's Gate. You worked closely with one of the Grand Dukes, Duke Portier, after foiling an assassination attempt against him. And you snuck, spied, coerced, cajoled, and performed enlightened self-defense on your way through the Dead Three cult, or the Cult of the Dead Three, depending on who you ask. And covered that one of the remaining three Dukes of Baldur's Gate, Duke Vanthympur, was using the cults in some twisted bid to rule over the city all on her own. You promptly broke into her house, kidnapped her, and killed her in Eckerd's apartment. Eventually, you collected enough evidence from your various raids and delves into the Vanthympur Manor House that the remaining dukes were able to sick the guard onto the cultists, purging them from the city as best they could. Following this night of turmoil, Duke Portier turned a strange cube that had been found in the Vanthympur Manor House to you, and you headed to the town of Candlekeep to try and get it open. On the way, Beridian tried unsuccessfully to open it up, but was really none the worse for wear, in spite of what should have happened. I narrowed my eyes when I said that. I don't know if you could hear. Anyways, in Candlekeep, you met a pair of experts in the field, tiefling named Silvaria Savakis, and an otter named Traxagor, as well as a flying elephant named Lulu. With their help, you managed to get the box open and revealed a pact between the archdevil Zariel and a old overseer of Elturel, one Naha, I don't remember how I pronounce it, but Belandi. Yes. You also learned that the pact could be broken by bringing the two boxes together, which meant a trip down to hell. Traxagor graciously plane shifted you all there, and then immediately fled upon realizing how actually terrifying hell is. You then decide to make your way over to the Keep of High Hall to seek survivors in any sort of my brain is not working right now. Survivors and any sort of leadership that might remain in the city, rescuing whoever you could along the way. You found the place to be just about full to bursting with all forms of devils, which you cleaned out and found a group of survivors, including the Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate, one Alder Ravengard. He'd been thought lost when the city originally fell. He pointed you towards the Grand Cemetery of Elturel to recover an artifact that he believed would provide some guidance, the Helm of Torm's site, which you have. At the cemetery, you've discovered a fallen priest named Gideon had been raising the dead into an army to fight the demonic incursion in the city. He helped him close a portal beneath the chapel, which had been spawning demons, and as a reward, he allowed you to take the Helm of Torm's sight, which let you witness a vision of somebody fighting a massive devil before plunging their sword into the earth, raising a tower into the sky around them of alabaster, which you can apparently just tell by looking at it. I don't know what alabaster looks like, so I
Oh,
wouldn't
it's
know.
very. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
obvious. It says alabaster all over it, so it's very obvious. The vision ended with from apparently Lulu's perspective as she flew towards somewhere she recognized a town is possibly the best way to describe it in uh, in the desert wastes of Avernus, down far below on Hell's floor. Or is it the roof? I don't know. Is Avernus the top? If it's the top, it's the roof,
I
right?
believe it's the
Anyways.
top, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
Yeah.
Hell's
Avernus
roof.
Avernus is the first plane of the 9 hells, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that sounds right. Lulu recognized the place. Or she will recognize the place. We'll get to that in a bit. Forgot that we left her behind. For I am a fool.
Lulu.
Lulu. And
Didn't we
you
have
also
to
got
ask your questions?
You said we leveled up?
Yes, why not? But we'll get to that after this session. Because holy fuck. So you also got another hint in the form of a pair of Kenku, strange bird folk wearing mismatched gear and garb and babbling in a myriad of voices that had come out to meet Lulu when she arrived. Let's see. Oh yes, and as you mentioned, yes, you did have to kick the shit out of Gideon. I almost said Viridian.
We might still do that too.
Good
Yeah,
I
it
just
might
do that
happen.
constantly.
Stranger things have happened. And returned to High Hall, not Elturel, you're already there. Rescuing some more folks on the way home. And finding High Hall to be in, not much better, but better shape. There was a bit more of an active defense in preparation when you arrived. And that is where we left off. I'm sure I missed anything or misremembered some stuff or had incomplete notes, so
That's pretty much
that's pretty
as
much it.
far as I remember, yeah.
The
That
main
seems
beats
pretty
are
efficient.
yes. So I don't think we'll see too many maps tonight. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to look at this fine background. But
Well,
I know you pick your ways back into the old High Hall. A pair of frightened-looking individuals wearing some obviously scavenged and fairly stained armor. Briefly brandish pikes at you as you approach, but recognizing that you are not, in fact, the spawn of Asmodeus himself, they let you in. Let's see. Inside the main keep area, you find that seems as though the town has moved back up to the ground floor and has been attempting, in your absence, to sort, organize, clean up, arm as many people as possible, and replace those who had fallen before. The Duke
Well,
isn't
that's
hard
good,
to find.
anyways.
The cutscene is over, by the way. You guys can jump in at any time.
That scene.
The recap, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we better get this Helm to. And of course, I remember his name because I have keen mind, but I don't remember his name. The mayor, or the.
Alder Ravengard. I know. I wish these people had names that were easier to remember and pronounce. Mostly
I-
pronounce,
My
but also
notebook got-
remember.
All the Ravengard, yes. Maybe he can help us sort this. Or at least interpret the vision?
Perhaps.
All right, and while you're looking around for him, Lulu flies up to you because she'd been away. She had elected to kick it here, or I elected for her to kick it there. She wanted to help the folks there, and she says, "Oh, you're back! You're back! I was so worried while you were gone."
Oh, Lulu, would you be
Liar.
What?
Roke, that's
Edgar fits her on the
incredibly
head.
rude.
Ow. I was only joking. Gosh.
Lulu, do you recognize this helm by any chance?
No.
Very strange.
You recognize this bow? It's a crossbow.
Also no.
Lulu, this helm, while it seems quite ordinary, it actually has a vision. And from what we could tell at the end, the vision was from your perspective.
Oh, what did you see?
I'll go through and I'll relay everything, and then
Mhm.
I'll talk about like the town and like town-esque looking thing in great detail as well. And
Describe it
hopefully-
as best you can. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I also mentioned that I was kind of when I was wearing it, that I was speaking like a cross between celestial and abyssal or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, what was it technically? Because I was the one that was translating.
Infernal and Celestial, if I believe.
Yes.
Infernal, I'm sorry.
No worries. It's I get them confused all the time.
They are quite similar, Eckhart. It's well, actually they're completely different, but in context they could appear to be quite similar.
That's funny
He
because I'm
says
able to
to
speak
Eckhart,
infernal.
who speaks infernal. I love it. Okay. Da-ba-ba. Well, when you she looks a little, confused and concerned. Lulu doesn't have her memories at this point. But when you start describing the this town and especially the bird folk at the end, her eyes light up and she says, "Oh, I remember that. I think I sort of."
Hmm.
Yes. Let me see.
Lulu, would you perhaps allow me to try something? See if I could pull that memory out.
Okay, she says.
So I'll walk over to Lulu
Mm-hmm.
and I'll put my hand above her head,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll put my other hand along her like that side of her face,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll cast share memory, and I'll start to like as if I'm pulling it out Like I'll try and focus on that memory and see if I can pull it out to share with everyone.
All right. Let me see if I can recall how this. Just want to make sure I know how this ability works.
My
Again.
share memory. Hold on here.
There
Is
it
a
is.
second level spell. I momentarily link my mind with the target and share a single memory of no longer than 1 minute. The target may make an intelligence saving throw to resist the effect or can elect to fail. I can show the target one of my memories, show the target one of its own memories, or view one of the target's memories.
Okay.
So I want to, I don't know, like, do I view one of the target's memories or try and show it its own memory so that way she can remember it for herself? Yeah, I'll show her her own memory, and that way hopefully it like jogs something in her.
All right. So you show her this memory, and as it plays out, she while her eyes are closed, but she looks concerned. Her brow furrows as much as an elephant's can. I don't I don't know much about elephant facial expressions, but as much I you know what? Fuck it. She's got cartoon features she can do. It's like Dumbo. She's like Dumbo.
Yeah.
Dumbo, but with wings instead of big ears.
Nice.
And also yellow instead of gray.
Oh.
Also
yes.
nice.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Because she looks... This is such a bad picture of Lulu. But here we go. This one.
Aww, she's so cute. I forgot about how cute she was.
Fucking ugly is what she is.
Yeah.
So rude.
That eye is way too far forward.
Wait, where's my picture of slobber traps?
Oh, yes.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to go digging for it.
Oh, it's easy to find. I just type in slobber here. Uh-oh, there isn't any.
Oh no!
Anyway, I'll dig one up later. So, but yes, she grows increasingly concerned as the memory plays out, and then opens her eyes when it completes. Says, "Oh yes, I think I remember now. I remember something. The person fighting that demon was a close friend of Zariel's, Yale, one of her most loyal. Let's see. Yes, she took Zariel's sword and plunged it into the rock, and I used it. I used every ounce of goodness in my heart to raise a shield around it, as a fortress against evil. I also know that the demon lord Yinagu wants to destroy Zariel's sword. He hates it almost as much as he hates her.
Do I know that name?
Yes, Yinogu is a demon who walked on the material plane once and got a little cut, and now there's gnolls everywhere.
Yes, the Knoll god.
Ah, okay.
I thought it was Inagu.
I think it's up for interpretation.
That's fair.
This is the vibe of Yinogu.
Oh, good.
I know they fought once, but I don't remember where. But I do remember also that place. It's called Fort Knucklebone. I don't think distance works the same way here as you might be used to, but I don't think it's far. It says trailing off. As much as distance exists here. And I remember those birds. Their names. Oh, I didn't ever learn their full names, but their names are Chuka and Clonk.
Chuka and Clonk.
Yes.
Interesting. Lulu, do you think that your shield would still be up right now?
I hope so. I've never done it before, so I don't know it. I don't know what the cooldown is on that ability.
Oh, oh Jesus!
I gotta queue up.
I'm surprised she even knows what a cooldown even is.
Could that
Lulu's
be
a gamer.
possibly why you're so small now? All of your
Maybe.
energy is going towards the thing. The shield.
Ah,
Slaughter
sorry.
shops located.
Dog
Don't
didn't
worry
like
about it. I love dogs. I love dogs more than life itself.
Yeah, so do I. He's a fucking pain in the ass. Okay, well, Lulu, if you feel like you know how to get there, would you be able to lead us?
I think so. Yeah, it would be easy. You just gotta fly with me.
I'll look at the group and just kind of wait to see what anybody's reaction is.
Oh yes, let me go get my flying boots on.
Uh,
I'll get those right away.
You have those?
No, I can't fly.
He's
Oh,
being
what?
sarcastic. Rogue,
What?
she didn't mean literally fly. She just
Oh,
meant that we
yeah, I
go
did
with her.
actually.
Oh, she definitely meant
Oh.
literally fly. I don't think she can. I don't think she speaks in euphemisms.
But perhaps if there's a way that we could make you larger, Lulu, and then we could all just simply ride you.
Yeah,
Well,
I think I
might
used to be
have,
big.
I might have something. Um,
Because
mm,
you might not have noticed, but we're still several miles in the air right now.
Thank you for that. Yep.
Don't forget, Elturel is suspended high above the river Styx and
yeah.
is being slowly pulled down by those infernal chains,
Down, down.
which do fortunately not lead into the river Styx, but rather into because I think you guys have looked over the edge at least
Mm,
once.
Don't remember.
Yeah, we'll say you did. You guys have been wandering around the city for a while. You at some point you surely would have been like, "Huh."
I just looked down into a pit.
You just look down. You're like, "Wow, I have so much vertigo right now."
Eh,
Um, but none of the chains are anchored in the river itself, but rather on the banks. However, one thing you would have noticed is that there seems to be a large collection of figures uh, around each of the chain anchors, and occasional explosions, fire. Sometimes one of the larger figures, flings some of the smaller ones around into the river, into the chains. Kind of
mm,
seems like there's a large battle going on, kind of just all over the place down there. Hell, am
as
I
you
right?
do.
Ain't the Blood War some shit?
hell is literally hell. Ha, ha.
Who'd have thought?
It's HE double hockey sticks here in Canada. Ow.
I'm sorry, we have an international audience, so I have to speak English instead of Canadian.
Do we have an audience?
All
I
right,
think
Dave.
so.
Background?
I like to think so.
We have 3 subscribers.
That's an audience,
It's
and we've
fair.
got to pander to them. I think I completely derailed this entire.
No,
Little
no,
bit.
no.
I just
Little
don't
bit.
remember a little bit, but that's what
Just
we
kidding.
do. That's what we do here around here. Is
Which
complete.
direction, Lulu? And we'll
One
do our
second.
best to fly as the crows. Whatever that saying goes.
Lulu shoots up into the air
Oh boy.
and looks around. And after a few moments, she comes back down. She says, well, I think I can see it. It's that way. And she just kind of points with her trunk. off in a direction. You don't know which direction, because I'm pretty sure there's no east, north, south, west down here.
Compasses don't work
Yep,
in this
neither.
realm, I don't think.
Does anybody have the enlarge spell?
Nope.
Let's say I know I don't. But that is a level 2 spell.
Large, eh?
Just feel as if though.
So I do.
Mm.
I could make that work, but I don't think it would make even. It would make Lulu probably big enough for one of us to ride, not all of us. Now, if we could enlarge Lulu while reducing other people, more could ride her. But I could only do one at a time without losing concentration on the previous spell.
Mm.
Where's Coast Jerkus with those mushrooms?
He's
Who's-
eating
who's
all of
fucking-
them. Just shoveling the growth mushrooms into his mouth until he becomes gigantic. We should try that sometime. How big can you get by eating the bigwig mushrooms?
I don't know.
Isn't his goal to become a dragon?
Yes.
Yep.
He hasn't thought about eating the 20 or so growth mushrooms he's been holding on to for the entire campaign.
Eckert looks contemplative and takes a look around to see if there's anything like curtains he might be able to utilize.
Oh,
Any heavy
absolutely.
cloth.
They're mostly have all been defaced by the devilish presence in the area after they took over, but there are a large number of old tapestries either lying on the ground, some are still barely clinging to the wall. But yeah, there's lots of material here. This is a lavishly decorated place, or at one point was a lavishly decorated place.
I say he just also looks to see if there's anything he might be able to use to construct any. Sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm looking for anything that I could probably be able to use to construct a sail-like, sort of like a sail-like maneuver. What I'm trying to do is I'm basically thinking to construct like a sort of a hang glider or a parachute.
I get you. Yeah, there's lots of building materials around in the form of destroyed building. It might take you a little bit of searching to find some appropriate materials, but you can handle that with a. Let's make the first roll back.
I could certainly help with that. By the way, I have limited experience with what I think you're trying to do.
So, if you want, you can make the first check, perception with advantage, to try and search around.
Ooh,
Nice. Yeah. So the two of you are able to break off, find some boards, ropes, discarded things, some stuff that looks like it was planned on being a barricade at some point. You maybe grab that. But yeah, you after searching around for not too long, really, the folks here at High Hall have seemingly been trying their best to organize the debris, make this place a little bit more livable. So, yeah, easy enough.
And yeah,
You
while
now
he's
have
searching,
a
Eckert kind of explains his idea of what he's planning on doing. If we're gonna be descending down from Elturel to the actual level, he wonders. I don't know if we can might be do one giant glider or if we can maybe construct 4 smaller ones, but we could probably construct gliders and see about floating down to the surface if that might work.
Well, does somebody have the spell Featherfall?
I do actually.
That would work.
We'd have to. cast it at either just the right time or be sure the distance matches. But we are kilometers in the air right now. I would be, and also just a thought for both plans, though both are excellent. In either scenario, we would be blown while falling. We'd be unable to control the direction of our descent other than down,
Yes.
which could mean floating over the River Styx without control. And
Yes, perhaps.
We'll be fine.
Well, what if?
I think this is definitely something to think about. But I think we should go speak to Elder Ravengard first, and perhaps he can give us some more info, because he said that the helm was the way, and while we got a vision from the helm, that may not even have been intent. Perhaps the helm will do another thing which will aid us even further.
Perhaps. Well, let's go find him.
Ugh.
All right. So you set off into the keep proper, or back in, I suppose, after stripping down some tapestries and the like to make into parasails. And you find the Duke resting, trying while issuing orders as best he can from a recovered pew. Not pew. This isn't a church. Chair. He had been injured previously. He was taking it easy. He sees you return, claps his hands and stands up, holds his side, winces, and you made it back. Any luck?
Well, we found the helm. To
Splendid.
be fair, we did put it on, and then our friend here started speaking in a combination of celestial and infernal.
Oh.
We deciphered that he was seeing a vision, and again, I'll go into detail about what the vision was and what our next idea is
Mm-hmm.
before saying, do you think there's anything else that this helm could help us with? A way to help this city get out of its current predicament?
He is been rubbing his chin, looking a little bit concerned with that, and at the revelation of the potentially corrupted helm. Says, well, honestly, I was hoping that it would have a vision that would show us the way out of here. Yeah. You see, it's an artifact that is meant to allow the wearer to speak to Torm directly, or as close to it as you and I can get. But if that's the case, that vision may be our best shot. Also, I don't remember what my own voice was, so if it changes rapidly, it's me. It's the DM trying different ones to see which one fits best.
All right.
Good to know. Good to know.
Um.
They're-
Yes. Well, we were considering going to the city or the town. I'm not really sure what the construct is, but um, going
I
to
think
this
it's
area.
I think it's a fort, says Lulu.
Think it's a what?
Fort,
A fort.
but they're very
Um.
friendly. You know, especially for hell. HE double
Yes.
hockey sticks.
um. Yes. Well, we were thinking about going to this fort, and in hopes that that would give us our next clue, but unfortunately, we don't have a way to get there.
Yes, we've early on we tried to see if we could climb down, and well, it's good news is it's an easy climb, relatively speaking, of course. The chains are covered in spikes, so it wasn't too hard. But we haven't been able to. No one has had the fortitude that we've sent to make it down that way yet. The chains
Oh,
are
I'm
made
sure
out
they
of.
made it down.
Well, yes, they alive is my point. You see, the chains the priests think that they're made out of infernal iron, and it burns to the touch. Not
Oh.
always. It comes in
Um,
waves, but I'm told it's quite painful.
I'm sorry that your friends have had to endure that.
He kind of scoffs a little bit at friends. No,
Well,
he says, let me just remember your name because I don't want to fuck it. Lady Ravenshade, you and I both know. No, he doesn't say that. It's like, you know what kind of people I was sending down there.
wow. Ah, yes. Nerdwells.
The help.
Yes.
He doesn't actually
Oh.
say that. Sorry. It was a bit. It was a bit. I take it back. It was a bit. He says. But yes, all volunteers. Don't worry. Is what he actually says.
Oh, well. Either way, it's still tragic. There's no other way. Perhaps is there anybody who has magics that could potentially help us in what we're doing? Both arcane and divine, perhaps?
We have some divine casters here, but none of them have been able to reach out as of late, unfortunately. I think, and I fear many of the arcane have fallen in the initial defense of the city. You may well be the sum total of our magical expertise right now.
Not unexpected, but do you think there could be a way to remove the curse on the helm, or
That's why I was asking about divine help, but
yeah?
it seems as though they can't reach the gods.
Yes,
Man,
I think.
guys, fuck's sakes. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
This
What-
stupid dog is playing with this dumb cat.
It's Well, I have someone here who could possibly look at the helm. I don't know. It's her area of well, not necessarily. Her divination is her area of expertise, but well, he like looks to someone who is passing by and says, "You go fetch Faria." He scurries off and says, "She may be able to parse something over time, but nothing quick. I'm afraid. I mean, I'm sure I don't truly know, but she won't be able to snap her fingers. I don't think."
Hmm.
Is Farah a name you recognize?
It
I
is a name
recognize
you
the name.
recognize. It's Faria is the name of the woman who you first encountered upon entering the crypts. She confronted you all um with a ceremonial mace. An older woman. Yes.
So far our plan is that we're gonna just head down there and we're gonna try and descend even further into hell to get more answers.
Well, you could always wait with the rest of us. Eventually we will get down to the sticks, I fear.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like as though the city's going straight to the River Styx. It looks like it's going just off to the side.
Oh, no, no, no. The city itself is descending into the Styx. The chains are
Oh, I see.
straddling.
Sure.
Yes, yes. Both sides of the river.
Well, I'm afraid that just won't do.
Indeed.
Actually, Eckhard, you kind of had the similar idea that I did. I was considering if we had jumped off the edge, so to speak,
Yeah.
I could cast Featherfall on us, and then Lulu could just push us and guide us away from the river. Just kind of play keep away, if you will, from the River Styx. It'd be a tough job for you, Lulu, but I mean, could work.
That was why I had envisioned maybe the glider or the sails at first. I thought maybe having our own ability to steer would probably be able to help. But then I thought, well, maybe if we just construct a balloon, that would probably be able to fit all four of us, and Lulu could probably push or pull us, so at least we
Make
get
a
to
little
the surface.
You guys could try to make a hot air balloon. That would be actually. I would love to see that. I don't mean that in as a malicious DM thing. I mean that as Malachi thinks that is an awesome idea, and also hilarious. I don't know why, but hot air balloons are funny to me.
I would say that yes, trying to make a device that we could pilot, because even if we get down not onto the River Styx and not immediately swarmed by Devilkin, we are then on the ground with no immediate way back up, soon to be surrounded by Devilkin.
Yes.
The only disadvantage I would think of would be that if we were to try to fly over this, that we'd probably be spotted and probably be accosted in the air. But then we would have to defend ourselves through our various skills and weaponry. But with the crossbow we just got, alongside our ability to cast spells, we should be able to fight off whatever tries to fly after us, I would think.
Well, at the very least, if we can fly down to ground level, so not be a floating target for long,
Yeah.
and then I try and camouflage it on the floor, and then when at least then we know that's our way out.
Yeah, because personally, I wouldn't want to try to climb down the chain, and I don't think our chances of being in the River Styx is gonna do us any favors at all.
No. Could could I, as an artificer, could I sit down for a while, like an hour, and just like try and make a blueprint with the main idea of like not even having a perfect design, but just like, is this at all feasible? And if it is feasible, like how long would it take to construct such a craft?
Sure. And specifically, like, you're not talking about a balloon, but you're talking about something that you could theoretically pilot back up.
So I
Or
guess maybe like a hot air balloon, perhaps. Yeah, like
a hot air balloon would probably be the best bet. Your immediate thought would be hot air balloon is probably the best bet. Anything motorized may not.
Something that yes, at the very least, like would be able to produce an updraft.
Yeah, go. Yeah, you can sit down and kind of sketch some stuff out. No problem.
Just to see if that even like is possible or even like worth considering further.
Yeah, no problem. Does anyone have anything they would like to do while this is going on?
I'm just going to assist Bridian as best I can in that.
Okay.
I will watch from the sidelines.
Just like, it's not going to work.
Hot air balloon above hot air is not going to work.
I'm going to try and look through all of the spell books that I have and see if there's going to be any spells that will help.
Sure. Yeah, I get. All right. So, some time passes with Eckhart and Viridian working through plans, Rogue occasionally offering a helpful bit of critique.
No,
And,
not there. Put that over there.
and Kia scouring her own resources for a solution. Let's see. After some time, you come up with an idea that you think might actually work. It's relies a little bit on magic, a little bit on luck, but not much luck.
Oh, good.
Yeah. With the materials you have on hand, you think, yeah, probably could build something in, well, time's weird down here, but in surface terms, maybe just a few short days. For reference, you don't think that the Elturel is sinking quickly enough to be like a pressing immediate concern if you're concerned about that.
Okay.
Would be
But
another thing
yeah,
you're considering in all the calculations of time. You're like, but is the city's sinking at precisely this rate, and you like measure a little bit of shadow or whatever and figure out how fast you're moving downwards.
so it's literally a possibility.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I'll say to the group. Like I'll confer with Eckert first on this, and then be like, it's the math works. Theoretically, we can find the materials. Theoretically, this is craftable. We can make a flotilla. I don't know what we'd want to call it, but some type of floating device to get us to the floor and get us up when the time comes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like that.
Is there a way to make it go faster instead of relying solely on air, weight? Something that drives the force in case we need to get away quickly?
Hmm.
The properties of flight would consist of to enact the force, as seen saying a bird, it flaps its wings. To have something large enough to carry us all, you would need to have wings or an equivalent force akin to an adult dragon. If we're talking about trying to be inconspicuous of sorts, that may not be the way.
Okay.
Unless that is the way.
Okay, and how long do you think it would take to construct this?
A few days. Probably.
Do we have a few days?
Yeah, likely, yes. Based on my rough calculations, Elturel will take time to sink into the river and even hit the river.
Yes, we've only been here. We've been here for some time, and well, we can tell we're sinking. It does. I don't think we have to worry about it for. Well, don't forget about us, he says.
Well, so that's actually the opposite of what I'm doing. Is I'm trying to remember that there are still devils running around Elturel. We saw them as we were coming in. They're trying to attack.
It's true.
Trying to take people. I'm saying, do we have time to construct this when there are lives at risk?
But what's the alternative? Yeah.
Don't know.
This is a thought. I'll do the math. I'll put the time to do the math on it too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, hold on. It'll be the four of us going, plus Lulu, but Lulu won't count for the calculation.
Yeah.
Kia, and then I'll hand her a little bit of parchment.
Mm.
Could you please write your weight on that? Purely for science. I'll just look at Roke and Eckert and say, gentlemen, what do you weigh? Each individually or together, I don't mind.
180 pounds.
I'd be more like 150. Or do I have that written down?
Oh wait, no, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I am 180.
155.
Wait,
We
did you guys
swapped.
just you guys just completely swapped your weights?
No, I actually had it
Yes.
listed. Speaking out of character here, I actually had it listed on my character sheet, and I thought 180 because that sounded right. But then, like, wait a minute, let me double check my notes here.
And then I thought I had 150, but I also had it written down as 180.
Yeah, you guys ended up being completely opposite.
That's hilarious.
That is
So
hilarious.
just to confirm, gentlemen, we're looking at 150 and 180 a pair?
Yeah, give or take.
So 330 between each of you.
And then this isn't accounting for equipment or supplies.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do right now is add my supplies onto my weight.
Our original plan, I could make the weight won't be so much an issue. The alternative plan I've just come up with, which I think is horrible but could work, would be using the levitate spell.
If you're looking for total weight, if you scroll all the way down to the encumbrance section of your inventory, it will tell you the total weight of everything you're carrying.
By the way, I'm
No need to
currently
add
carrying
anything.
111 pounds.
Right?
Don't
mostly
worry about
weapons.
65.8. 66.
I'm carrying more than you, bro.
I mean,
my
A lot of my stuff doesn't have
we-
weight.
Perhaps we
It's
leave
like-
some stuff behind, but it does sound like my levitate plan won't work. I can only levitate 500 pounds total.
We could leave stuff behind, I guess. If there's anything that we don't need. Or I do have a scroll of levitation.
Eckerd wondered
the
if
idea
you could
would
start
be-
researching how to fly.
The idea would be that I would be levitating, or anybody would be levitating a communal platform.
Ah,
So you'd have to take into account the platform's weight and then everyone else's weight. I don't think it's achievable.
Eckerd starts asking if they have any scribes that could probably procure them scrolls of the fly spell.
We can look, he says.
That would be appreciative.
Alright, let me roll for luck. Okay. High or low?
Low.
Alright. So, the Duke, fetches someone. As a nobility can often do, makes someone seemingly appear from nowhere, issues a few quick orders. The person disappears for a time while you're still planning out your descent. It returns with 2 scrolls. Let's see. One of which is, upon reading it, Kia, you would be able to know. I think It's who else can cast fly? Can warlocks cast fly? I can't remember.
Warlocks can cast
don't
fly,
think
but
so.
it has to be 3rd level, and I'd have to be like level 5 warlock to do that.
Okay, so then anyone that can cast fly would be able to read the scroll and see that there is, in fact, one scroll. One of the scrolls is a scroll of fly.
Cool. I can
Nice.
definitely see that then.
The
Well,
other,
hold on.
the
Hold
other
on.
scroll is a scroll of polymorph, but specifically into a fly.
Oh,
Nice.
It's polymorph other, and then in brackets it says fly. So that's
Which
not
works.
exactly what I was looking for, but I mean,
well,
But
this is
I
all I could
could.
find, sir.
No. You've done
no, it's
wonderfully.
great. I mean,
Um,
this will still be useful.
I could potentially copy this spell, fly, into my spellbook and be able to cast it anytime we need.
Well, but yeah, remember you'd have to have the energy to do so. Are you sure you could cast such a spell?
I'm quite capable, yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Let's say I would recommend going ahead and copying that as many times as we can. I don't know if we can duplicate scrolls, but
Yes, you
Uh,
can copy them into your spellbooks.
There is a way to duplicate scrolls, but I don't really know how it works, and I think it's weird.
okay.
Item crafting in 5e is weird. But I can look into it for you for sure.
Alright, yeah, that'd be nice.
But even in that scenario, that only helps one person again.
Well, the way I was thinking was that if, I mean, I don't have the ability to cast it yet, but I could probably look into seeing how to do that, and then if I can cast it, I can cast it on myself, and then hopefully, depending on how many scrolls we can get, we can cast it on everyone else. And then, if we don't have any ability to cast fly, then we can go ahead and go with your other idea of casting enlarge or reduce, and then having Lulu carry the last one.
True.
Because that way, if we can all fly, we don't have to worry about the carrying weight. We don't have to worry about the building the material. We don't have to worry about making sure we have enough weight for a levitation. And that also takes care of the piloting. And we can also get down to the surface quicker like that as well. So that would save us some time as well. That's just my thought process anyway.
How many feet of up are we?
Many. It's let's see. How many feet are there in a kilometer?
How many indeed? On average, there is
3,000.
3 feet in a meter.
3,280.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're like 6,000 feet in the air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's far. It's pretty far.
So just a thought. The featherfall spell lasts for 1 minute, and it slows you down to fall at a speed of 60 feet per round or per
6 seconds.
6 seconds. So a featherfall spell could not get us from top to bottom.
No, that's why we have to fall for like a little bit and then cast it.
Yes, I would be casting it much later.
But so along that thinking, then a fly spell lasts an hour. A fly spell could get us from top to bottom. Actually, hold on. Could a fly spell get us from top to bottom?
I don't know.
You move 60 feet in a round. A round is 6 seconds.
Same difference.
Yeah, but then times that by 60.
Actually, wait, you can fly, I think 90 feet? How fast can you fly with fly? I
Is
can't
it
remember.
50 or I think it's 50.
I thought it was 60, but yeah, maybe.
Fly's also a concentration
Six-
spell up to 10 minutes too, so
60 feet.
60. Yeah, okay.
Oh, fly is only 10 minutes though?
Okay, hold
Good
on.
question. Yep, it is only 10 minutes.
Oh my, oh my. Which does work out to 6,000 feet.
There you go.
I think I did that math right.
Mhm.
Birdie
I-
would have done that math right.
Yeah.
That was effectively 60 times 6 times. No. What did I just do? Hold on.
It would have been
60 times 10 times 10.
yes. No.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, if it's only 10 minutes. Yep.
So yeah, it's 6,000. That would be close to what we need. So if we jump, fall for a bit, and then fly, or you fly to the bot as far as you can, and then fly, feather fall the rest of the distance. I don't like the idea of not having a quick way out in the end.
Yep.
too bad we don't have a druid
There's
with
a
us.
variety of ways down, including we haven't much talked about the idea of simply walking down.
Even
or
a druid
climbing.
can't fly until level 8, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You have disconnected Tyler and Alex.
Yeah. It just like closed on me.
You just blipped out of existence.
I like accidentally opened a map and then it just was like, "Meow, bye."
Bye, Felicia. Alright, that's fine. Come on back whenever you can.
We're trying, yeah. Like, is climbing down a bad idea?
With the, I mean,
We need some kind of fire resistance or something.
As I understand it, it was less. Hot might have been the wrong. Burning might have been the wrong exact descriptor. I've been told it's like more like your soul being shredded.
Oh,
Okay, never
Uh,
mind.
yeah.
Is that when you're touching with your bare skin?
I don't know how it works.
No.
we could test that. We could go to it, to one of the chains and test.
You could.
And who's going to be the subject for that test, Brilliant? I don't think any of us want to try.
I would try.
Hmm.
My suit would likely protect me. Which would make trying it on me inefficient. But
Well,
I wonder if I would have a natural resistance to that being a tiefling and all.
perhaps I could even identify the chain and see its purpose and discern exactly what it does.
Maybe.
In
Worth a
trying
shot.
to
Let's
solve
go
any
to the.
good math, in trying to solve any good math problem, you want to have all the variables.
it's true. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong, no. Well, we might as well go to the chain. Where's the closest one?
You can get some quick directions to the closest chain. Hand off the helm if that's your decision to Feria, because I totally blanked on that entire thing. But you can just. She's like, yeah, I'll do what I can for you, sweetie. Kind of deal. Let's see.
I thought she was much younger.
Nope, she's old. But yeah, it's there's actually a chain not too far away from the keep itself. You find yourselves standing in front of a massive spike that has embedded itself into the ground of Elturel. At the top is a loop, and the massive chain descends down the side. The spike seems to be made of the same material as the chain. You can reach the chain from the edge, however. It is covered in the chain is covered in tiny spikes because, welcome to hell, I guess. Hell is very punk, apparently.
Punk rock.
As we arrive here, there's no guards. There's nothing trying to defend the spike.
Nothing's trying to protect the spike.
I'm not suggesting this, but just a thought. I mean, we could consider attempting just to remove these and free the city in that way.
Here we go. I was looking for the size description because I figured you were going to suggest that. Each link of the chain is 30 feet long and 20 feet wide, forming a welded loop of infernal iron that is 5 feet thick. It is covered in 1 foot long iron barbs. The posts are clearly buried deep underground. However, the bit that is out of the ground is taller than you are. So moving these would be I mean, you could do it, but it would be a feat of excavation. Not to completely dissuade you. You could blow them up, I suppose.
Yes, I'm not dissuaded actually.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's maybe not the penultimate idea, especially considering once we removed one, I assume the intelligence behind this attack would counter. We have to remove them all at once, and that doesn't even suggest that we'd be freeing Elturel per se.
It just falls faster.
It might fall. It might not fall at all, but now we're still floating in hell rather than out of here. Anyways, okay. So the chain itself is likely what I need to touch, isn't it?
The chain seems to be made of the same material as the post supporting it.
I'm gonna try and climb up on the post.
All right. As soon as you touch it, you feel uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt, but you feel this instinctual urge to not be holding on to this thing.
I'll remove my hand.
Yeah, immediately you feel as good as one can who is, hovering over the river Styx in Avernus.
If I were to describe that to you all, well, I'm not good with words. I'll look at Kia. Similar emotion feeling as to when I'm around your husband.
I think
That tells me everything I need to know.
Fearful?
Grating against your skin, and it also as though like boiling from the inside.
You could say yes. It's the sense of dread. Unpleasant to be sure, but not painful yet. I
By
will
holding it for
continue.
longer.
Oh, proceed. Yes. Oh, me? Yes. Okay, and I'll do it.
Yes, you. Yeah.
All right. So how long do you want to hold on to it for? Just until something else happens, or just? Or do you have
yeah,
like
I guess so. Upwards of an hour. Upwards of an hour.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh fuck.
Well, I'm assuming that if something happens before then, you're gonna let go because
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
not an asshole. I hope.
Correct.
But so you grab onto it and you just endure this feeling for a while. While you're waiting, you get more and more uncomfortable feeling until about say maybe 10 or so minutes later, you the feeling becomes, it's been building up until it feels nearly unbearable. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're holding on to it and this feeling is like building deeper and deeper, you feel this sense of like you feel a pulse. Not like a heartbeat, but like, you know what I mean when I say a pulse. Anyway. I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Um,
so.
It feels hot for a moment, burning almost. Let's see. And you fling your hands away as you take 6 points
Hmm.
of necrotic damage.
Ah.
Yeah, I knew
Mm.
there was more to it.
Okay,
No. But yes. Okay.
climbing the chain is
Unless we can find a way to subdue that power or prevent it.
I do not know. The chain option.
Yeah, but I believe the chain is not an option. Indeed, it would take. So Brady would know the exact time, not knowing that it does it in exact like ratios or anything,
As
right?
assuming it does it in exactly the same amount of time.
Yeah,
Every time, yeah, you think that it would probably be statistically not in your favor to try it that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a long climb.
Like I would feel as though I could withstand that more, but not the amount of times required to get to the bottom.
Yeah, the chain is like it's one of the options that's presented, and it's like by the book, and it's like who would ever take this option?
Unless
And
there was
how?
some way
And
around it, yeah.
how would you take this option?
I still like how jumping off and Featherfall, because Featherfall you can cast on more than one person, can't you? It's like a group of people.
6, yes.
5.
6. 6.
5. I have the spell.
6. So do I.
Yeah, so I say we just jump down
Up to 5.
close to the chain. We get like within 1,000 meters of the ground, cast Featherfall. Nurgle can help push. Lulu can help push. The fucking cat can help push.
Meow.
Silvertops. Oh, Silvertops.
We have a fly scroll. They can help push halfway down.
Well, again, if I can copy this spell, that means that I can cast it again, and I would be able to make multiples of this scroll for each of us to use on our way back up.
I like that idea the best. Although I
Is
don't
there any
think that
wind in Avernus?
Is there any what?
Wind.
Uh,
It will
not
literally
inside
push something
Elturel. However, you can, as you're near the edge, you can see and hear that there is in fact wind in. It's fairly high up here. But Elturel itself seems to be mostly not affected by the wind for some reason.
So if we do the Featherfall idea, we would need to tie a rope among each of us so as not to be separated. And then we would need to, yes, have some way of controlling our drift so as to make sure we land in a favorable spot, if that exists in hell.
as long as we don't fall in the river Styx, really.
What if we modified your plan? And instead of making a or whatever you call it, we may gliders instead. That way it would help us. We could use them
Yes,
and
and
shift the direction in which we're going.
indeed, like it would be an excellent idea.
It would
It
take
i-
less time.
Indeed. But it all leads me back to then the fear of how do we get back up.
Again, I would have the fly and I would cast it.
No.
Well, sorry. I would cast it from my own spells reserve on one of us, but then the scrolls that I would make copies of, we would be able to use individually.
So then try and make the copies. It's the and I can assist you with that in any way I know. But even a fly spell would not get us from the ground to Elturel. Based on estimation, of course, but believing that we are slightly over 6,000 feet from the ground, a fly spell would only get you 6,000 feet up.
Well, if we're slowly going down anyway, better part of the day to come scroll. Think we'd be closer then?
Certainly, but I don't know about that. How much closer? While we and this currently that hinges on Kia having the power and the ability, which I believe she will, to create these scrolls. We need to consider how do we camouflage, make our landing unnoticed.
I don't know. Do we need to make our landing unnoticed?
Yes, the
Or just
closer the
4 deck little specks in the sky falling out of Elturel? They might just think it's some more survivors just trying to get off on the chain if we fall near the chain. And then think we're dead.
Only based out of what I've read, which I put 100% faith in. Avernus is a battlefield. The entire plane is a battlefield and is slaughter at all times. The likelihood of us landing in the middle of a fight between a variety of devils who just all want to kill everything will mean they will try and kill us. And we could
Yes.
find our entire time on the surface is simply one large fight.
So what's the point of camouflaging then if we're just going to fall into a battlefield anyways?
Avoiding the fight, hopefully.
finding a point of entry where we're
This is my concern.
more
Like,
advantageous.
I would not be surprised if the ground itself harms us.
Can I look over the edge and see if we are like any closer by now?
Not not immediately noticeably closer.
Damn it.
It's hard to gauge the
Yeah.
difference.
I was trying to see if it was just like the last 10 minutes we moved like 3 feet so that I could do calculations.
I think if you noticeably moved, uh, in 10 minutes, you would have something to worry about with the city falling into the ocean, into the river.
Yep.
It would become an immediate concern.
So, we've got Farah trying to fix the helm or something. We've got Kia trying to create multiple scrolls of flight, or she will be. Should I attempt to create something with Eckhart? Is that a null point at this juncture?
You can keep trying. I'll keep
Yep.
watching.
Ecker, are you good to get to work? Should we get started?
Did we
Um,
just completely forget about the shield, though? Is that on Elturel, or that's down on the Avernus?
What shield?
Lulu's shield. The one
The
that's protect-
alabaster tower that she made, yes.
Yes. That's not on Elturel.
No, it's not on Elturel.
Okay.
It's somewhere else, based on the surrounding area as shown by the vision, likely somewhere on Avernus.
Gotcha.
And Avernus is unmapped. I mean, if we
Technically
can,
not, but you'll see when you get down there. You'll see what it's like when you get down there.
if we can even see it from here and land on it, we not even are certain of its power, if it even has power. I think you're right that that's where we're heading to, right?
I believe so. That's what I thought, but
No, absolutely. But
Well, from where you are, I'm gonna quickly see. It does not seem to be. Okay, alabaster's white. So yes, you do not see a massive pillar of a white stone anywhere from where you are.
which like the ground itself is like red, right?
Yes,
So like a big white tower should be like
pretty
sticking out
obvious.
like a yeah. So it'll likely be days travel on the ground.
You also
even find-
noticed from here that it's not literally the entire ground isn't covered in a battlefield. Is another thing you would notice from up here.
Good. Okay.
Around here, the fighting seems to be mostly concentrated around the where the chains are anchored to the ground, and then sporadically along the river Styx itself, and then like occasionally you'll see what looks like a skirmishing party, or maybe some larger battle like off in a field somewhere. But it doesn't seem to be like literally every inch of ground is a battlefield down there.
Yeah.
If that helps any decision making.
helps me say that we should just jump off. But saying that this entire time. I'm just bored. Bored of waiting. Ugh. Making a hot air balloon. So boring.
But think about how cool it could be to fly. First of all, I've only read about these, and I've only seen one once. Ironically enough, it was destroyed by demons. But nonetheless, it could be. We would be the first, I believe, to fly such a device in another plane of existence, let alone in Avernus.
All right, I'll help.
I say, yeah, definitely I'd go ahead and construct it. I'm also going to go ahead and see about constructing a homemade parachute or two.
Yeah, okay.
And
Just
while
on
we're
the
doing
off
that,
chance we have to bail.
absolutely, yes. And while we're doing that, Kia can
Copy.
Sure.
I'll make this multiple scroll, or I copy the scroll into my.
Sorry, yeah, you broke up there pretty bad for me. You said you're going to copy the scroll onto
Yeah.
other scrolls before moving it into your book?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I did look it up. It looks like crafting scrolls takes a long time.
Oh shit! How long?
The 3rd level spell, about a week.
Oh fuck!
So scratch that.
Yeah, but I can still copy it into my spell book, no problem. Takes like an
Oh
hour.
yeah, it takes like a couple hours, but like yeah, you can do it no problem.
If you
Oh, that's right.
upcast that, you can make more people fly, can't you?
1 extra per level
Yeah.
cast.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Another
but
thing to
fourth.
consider is that you likely, well, I mean, I shouldn't say likely. I don't know what your plans fully are, but if all goes well, you will probably not have to return to Elturel immediately.
That's what I kind of thought too. Like, I don't understand why you think Elturel's a salvation. We're here to save Elturel, not the other way around.
I just really like the idea of having an escape plan.
That's fair.
It's true if all goes well. In my mind, if all goes well, we get in 0 combat. We find what we need unseen and unheard. And, well, even then, how do we get off of this? There's many unknowns, but hoping that things go well, it's true that we would be somehow able to just magically leave this plane. Which may have sounded a little bit sarcastic. I mean, literally magically leave the plane, of course.
Yes.
Okay, anyways, I'm building.
Okay.
I'm gonna start copying this scroll into my spell book.
Mhm.
And while I'm doing that, well, I guess I'll focus on that as my main thing, but then I'll also think about other ways that we can try and make this work.
Sure thing, sure thing. All right, so those of you who are working on, we'll fast track this a little bit. But whoever's leading, you may make me a couple of rolls here. Let's see. Just gotta look at the skills. It's been a long time since I played 5e
Does,
relative.
does my tool expertise come into play here?
Yes. And you also have advantage because you have help of at least Eckerd and possibly
That's mostly going to be Nurgle.
most. Okay. Well, you have advantage anyway. But yes, go ahead and make me a check with the tools you're using. Using, I think it would be your intelligence for crafting.
It would be in my case. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just level 6. I get double proficiency.
Okay.
So what is my proficiency again right now? We're +3, right?
I think so, yeah. Yes, you're +3 at this point. So
+6 and then plus my intelligence modifier?
so you have a +10 on this check.
Very nice. Very nice. How do I roll that? I guess I'll just roll a d20 and then we'll add 10.
Yeah,
just
sure.
roll it with
Or you
advantage.
could click on the modifier part there too, and put in a custom modifier.
Oh yeah, I forget that.
I have never once used it. So
No.
I'm clicking
I'm
on
not
it. Nothing's
surprised.
happening. Am I dumb?
You have to type? Do you have to type? Yep.
Let me.
You have to type into it. So click on it. It says adjusting, and then you just type in a number.
Okay, and then do I have to apply it somehow, you think? Or
No, I think it's just for your next roll.
so let's see what happens.
Yes, you just roll
Oh, I didn't do it at advantage like a schmuck.
like a
But okay.
Well, then just roll it again.
Like a schmiggity schmuck.
Like a oh wait, sorry, don't put that. Cut that from the. That's offensive language.
Oh, true. Okay.
Aha!
I love your reaction to that. Oh, sure, okay.
That's better, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem there at all for you. Between the help and your own expertise, you managed to rig up a hot air balloon, an Eckard, while you're working, yeah, you absolutely can make use some leftover material and make some. It's hard to tell if a parachute is gonna work or not before you test it, but you're pretty confident. Um,
I meant to roll a d20, not a d10, or not a
yeah,
d8.
that's okay. You're assisting with the thing, and you're like, let's use some of this and craft up some parachutes just in case. Bridian helps you out with that, and between the two of you, after some time, I won't say like a couple of days have passed because it's always just red outside. What's
Right.
the weather? What's the weather like today? Oh, red angry clouds. Same as the last time I checked. Okay, cool. Anyways, yeah. After a amount of time, you manage to construct yourselves a hot air balloon and parachutes. And Kia, you get fly transferred over to your spellbook. You may add it to your spellbook now, if you haven't
Yep.
already.
As a thought, especially if we're gonna not do this immediately, we could test the parachutes. Kia could test her fly spell out on somebody. I volunteer.
Mhm.
And then we could fly that person up into a certain height, let's say 200, 300 feet, and then stop flying and test the parachute. And if it doesn't work, someone can catch them with feather fall.
Be me again. Yes. Yes, we could do that.
If I go, I could catch myself with feather fall as well. Shall we test that just to see the validity of these parachutes?
I think that would be best.
Or am I being too cautious, Skip?
No,
No, that seems reasonable.
really cautious. It does make sense to make sure that they work and that
Before we leap to our deaths, should we test the parachutes? Nah.
Eckert, would you like to test the parachute? Seeing as it is your
Yeah,
brainchild.
I'll be the guinea pig. Yeah.
We so Kia will cast the spell.
What's a guinea pig?
Well, a guinea pig is a kind of creature, Kia. It has much like a rat,
Basically a
but
rat.
but chubbier,
It's
usually
vermin.
held as a pet.
Would you want to be a guinea?
They taste pretty good.
Similar to cats, sometimes they're identified as. Well, no, he means it as an allegorical representation of a test subject.
Oh,
Indubitably, yes.
wait, they use them as tests?
Indubitably.
We're getting off topic. You were saying?
Just that you have nothing to fear, Eckert. In case the parachute does not work, however, I'm confident it will. But in case it does not, you very likely will not die.
Very likely meaning not.
Do you have a way of alarming us to turn off the fly spell sooner if need be? Well, no, hold on. The person flying has control of the.
Unless it would be myself.
They
I
have the method to be able to check the spell, please.
I don't think so. I
thought-
think the one concentrating on the spell has the ability to turn it off. But I could be wrong.
Well, the person flying would be able to stop flying should they wish.
Oh,
Could they not?
yes, they could stop flying and land, but then would still be able to fly again if they wanted to.
So Eckert at his whim could decide to stop flying.
Yes, he could fall, I guess, and choose that, but the spell itself would end.
So Eckert, just a thought. If the moment comes, take a knife or something with you, and if while you're trying to come back down, there is a flying devil that attempts to harass you, fall quickly, and we will catch you.
Alrighty, I'll
And send Nurgle up with you just in case.
say he looks just a little unsure, but he goes with it.
Actually, you can communicate through Nurgle if you wanted to as well. To me.
So I gotta double check that the backpack's like secured on him, or the like the parachute, I guess.
Once he's ready, I shall cast. Fine.
All right. So when you're good to go, you give the signal, and Kia casts the spell on you. You feel much, much lighter. Start to, yeah, it's pretty
Light
great.
on my feet. And I just go ahead and I rocket up into the air. Just straight up into the air.
All right.
And
yeah, as you pass away from the rooftops of the city, you start getting buffeted by winds. Not super hard, but just want to let you
Oh,
know
shit.
there is some wind. And as you're flying up there, I interrupted you. So what were you gonna say?
I just said, what's a good distance to fly up before I just allow myself to go into a free fall?
You
Probably as high as you can.
you aren't sure, but
I would say at least 1,000 feet.
realistically, I think you're supposed to open a parachute over
Like 1,000 feet or something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
is the bare minimum.
like
Yeah,
pretty high up.
That sounds pretty reasonable. I'll go ahead and I'll
Yeah.
fly up as much as I can on that then.
Yep. Okay.
Oh.
And then when I feel that I'm high enough, I'll just go ahead and I'll just tear open the ripcord and deploy the parachute.
All right. So, you start to fall. I'm assuming you don't just open the parachute
Yeah,
while
not
flying.
right away.
Yeah. So there's a little bit, because I'm pretty sure you have a concept of what you're trying to do here from, like, say, a children's toy, or maybe something you've seen once or twice. But it's one thing to know about something, and one thing to do, and another entirely to do it. And so the first thing that happens when you pull the ripcord as you're falling is, um, the parachute doesn't open right away. Um, as you're initially falling, and you think to yourself, that's probably not good. Or something along those lines. But as you start to pick up speed and rocket towards the ground, the parachute starts to flutter, billow, and eventually, with a whoomp that jars you a lot. And make a quick strength saving throw just for my entertainment.
Goody.
Perfect. You manage to not slip out of the backpack. You hold on. As your fall is pretty abruptly slowed to, well, still fast, definitely much more survivable than terminal velocity. You do drift a little bit hither and yon, and but fortunately for you, you drift more into the city than away from it, and you don't have much control. As the group watches, you eventually set down on the roof of a ruined building a few blocks away. You are currently inside of a very colorful but singed tapestry, for the parachute landed on top of you.
Cool. Well, I gather up the tapestry and the backpack and just try to make my way off the top of the building.
Yeah. Fortunately, entry is not too hard because there's a rather large hole into the attic. And you manage to make your way down to the street. About, well, I'm assuming you'd find your friends
Yeah.
waiting for you because they got there before you landed.
Yep.
So, test run was largely successful. The parachute did not deploy right away, but it did take a couple of seconds before it finally came out. But above all else, it
Okay.
was fairly successful.
Yeah, indeed. It occurred to me as I stood preparing Featherfall on you. I don't know about you, Kia, but I can only cast that a range of 60 feet.
Yes. Well, what?
As in, you could only cast it at him once he hit the 60-foot mark, like above the ground. If you're out on the ground.
Oh, if I'm standing on the ground, then yes.
But with that drift, if you were to drift far enough, farther than 60 feet from your range, you would not be able to cast that. Many variables. Many variables. But at least the parachute worked. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm equally confident that the what are we calling this device? This airship. What are we calling it?
Let's call it an airship. A hot airship.
A hot airship. Okay. And what is its name? Every ship needs a name.
I don't know.
I've read that it is bad luck to not name a ship before sending it on its maiden voyage.
Like, how does this thing look? Like,
Well, it looks like it is made out of scrap reclaimed materials, but given that it's Viridian and he rolled a 25, it looks well made, like very well made. It looks It looks like, imagine like a really well made hot air balloon, or however he ended up designing it. Except it just looks like it's made out of like whatever random crap. Like it's not one piece of cloth, but many stitched together for the balloon part, and the basket or platform that he's made is obviously multiple different kinds of wood from different sources. Some of them might have carving, like a piece of a carved wooden statue or what have you, but it looks solid and well built.
okay, because the only reason I asked is I was going to go for the irony factor and call it the Resplendence if it looked completely slapdashed and absolutely rickshawed. But if it actually looks fairly well made, I guess we could call it the Hope of Elturel. Or, I
It's
don't know.
very
Sounds
on
good.
the nose, but yeah. No, it's yeah. Do we have any paint or I could put the name on there magically, but then it might make a bit of a beacon.
Give me a second. Let me look up a thesaurus here.
I don't have any paint, unfortunately.
Okay, do you have any ideas how we can write the name on the ship here?
Scratch it in.
Carve it.
Yes, yes, indeed. And I point to I point to either the stern or the aft of the ship, and I'd say either those are the two stronger. I tried to make the both ends stronger. The middle itself, where people would stand, would be also strong, but typically I don't think you'd write it underneath the ship. Typically you'd have it on the side, right?
I'm sorry, I was just looking up synonyms for hope to maybe, kind of have it more of a single name. And one of the synonyms for hope I saw was Fool's Paradise. uh,
Rough.
A little, well,
Just was looking to see if we can maybe like shorten the name a bit, maybe to something like what was I don't know.
I like it. I like the first one you had there.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Hope of Elturel. All right, yeah, we can go with that then. I was just saying stuff off the cuff, to be perfectly honest.
Sometimes that's what's needed. So if we can get that added, so when we're ready, I suppose we give this a go. We should check with Farah first and see if she's sorted the helm out, but I doubt it. Well, it's cursed.
Yes, I know.
For now.
For now.
All right. So, yeah, you go and seek out Feria, who has been at work studying the helmet as best she can. When you arrive, she explains, "Yes, I have made. I think I've found some things, but it's a little early. It's curse. Uh, Decursing objects is removing curses is a difficult process, and I'm not at my best now. I'm sure you've heard, but in
No,
time,
I have heard, but no one's at their best right now. Understandably.
I'm sorry I don't have anything more helpful to share."
Do not apologize. Circumstances being as they are, not your fault. You've done what you can, and it's greatly appreciated.
Yes, and while you're away, I will continue working on it.
Thank you.
I guess we should check with the Duke too and see if he's got any like supplies he can give us.
All right.
Like rations, food.
Uh, yeah, and you check with the Duke, and he says, "Yes, I think we can spare some, especially for you." Um, Let me see. He'll add 12 days worth of rations. I'm just gonna put it on the party sheet.
Wow.
Yeah. There we go. There's now 15 days worth of rations in the party sheet.
Nice.
Well, are we all ready?
I'm born ready.
Ready as I'll ever
I
be.
feel like I belong here, really. And I probably do.
You sure do, boss.
Yep, thanks, Nago.
All right. So you bring your hot air balloon, uh, your hot airship over to the edge of one of the edges of the city. Load it up, climb in, and have some of the survivors who are seeing you off shove you over the side. And as you begin your descent, we'll call it here for next week.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Good enough of a literal cliffhanger as any.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, where are we descending into?
You're beginning your descent into Avernus.
Bye-bye.
He said the name. He said the name.
They
He
said
said
it.
the thing.
Title drop, go.
You know, a part of me was like, I'm on character being this cautious, you know?
Mhm.
Like that's one as like especially when Kia's involved, that's one of my major character traits, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then too, like me and Tyler had our first like TPK with a different group.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like and like the amount of idiocracy that went into the choices that led us to that end,
Yep.
right? I'm just like, wait, we should think about this. Wait, we should think about this. It was easy to
And
roleplay that way.
it's also easier because characters would do that anyways, so it made that much more logical for us.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
You know how Roke likes to just kind of like push the like, yeah, I'm bored. Let's keep this going. Let's see what's gonna happen, right?
Yep.
So my
That was
guy,
our entire
my
point.
guy, very similar, except he also like wanted to get like payback on some group members. So like he wanted it to fail, not for him to die, but he wanted the to fail.
Yeah.
So he also kept pushing the group along, but then like we just like, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do this, and then the DM like tried like warning us like with an NPC character like, oh, you can't go up against that guy, he'll fucking slaughter you. Like you want
Yeah.
nothing to do with this, and we didn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
next encounter, we just
Not good, not good. So if this boat just dies and crashes, always
He making a pointed look at me.
alrighty. So we're not playing tomorrow night, right? Is that my understanding?
yeah.
I am not sure. I just know I won't be around tomorrow. I don't know
Oh,
what
okay.
Tony's plans are at this point. We will be playing Avernus next Tuesday though,
Oh, cool.
if,
Okay.
Nice.
if that's amenable to everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta make up for lost sessions, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Yeah, no,
patience in all this chaos.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
life happens, man.
All
Unacceptable.
right, all right. Well, GG everyone.
Yeah.
GG. See you next week. And once you guys get to the ground, maybe we can talk about leveling up.
Ooh.
Thought we'd like just leveled up, but I could be wrong.
Probably, but you know what?
Fuck it, life's too short.
Life's too short.
Level up.
Take any level up you can get. You're literally in hell.
Make us level 20 already, fuck.
Okay. If you fight, listen. With
Yeah.
great ability comes great accountability.
As you hit the ground, Asmodeus rips out of the front of you.
He says, "This is what we call a difficulty tweak."
Oh shit, final boss already, damn.
Oh my. All right, good night, guys.
Good night,
Spoilers.
everybody.
Roke is the final boss.
Bum, bum,
Ah!
bum.
Dun dun dun. Just kidding. Alright, see you later. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
All right, and for those of you still watching the video here, just a quick announcement here. For those of you who wish to continue to, DM, for those of you who are interested in DMing, join the Grim Press mailing list. You can also follow on the social media on Twitter and Reddit. Just go to r/GrimPress. There's a bunch of free material there. A bunch of maps, as well as module stuff you can utilize, I believe. Just check it out. And you don't have to pay anything. It's all free. It's all readily available. Like I said, Twitter, or go ahead and join on the subreddit. Just check it out. You won't be disappointed. Have a good evening, guys. Take care.